Hello everyone, welcome back to Eastwick Cottage Garden. I hope you guys have been doing well. It has been a while since we've been together. I've missed you guys very much, and I just wanted to get on here today. Today is very lovely here. It's in the 60s, it's sunny, it's a beautiful autumnal day. There's some color in the garden that's still around, and I wanted to catch it before it fades away in any potential upcoming frosts. So I'm just going to turn the camera around and we're just going to get started on our little autumnal tour for November of 2025. So as we usually do, we're going to start over in the area of the immersive garden bed. I'm not actually going to go in because I actually have Jasmine with me in tow. I have her on a waist leash, but you can see that she's gotten very big. She's now 10 months old and she's doing very, very well. She is a delight to have around. She's extremely playful, curious, and a lot of good fun. So in here, things are starting to fade back, but I really love the different colors that we have going on. We have some of the reds and the ambers going on in here. And then back in the back, we have the little lime hydrangea that is looking very, very pretty. It's putting on a lovely autumnal color. There's one at the top. Here is fairly new. So this one has a lot more pink in it than the others. The others are starting to fade into the amber color. I'm not going to go in here, as I said before, but I do have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of ivy that's grown over. I haven't had a chance to get back in here. Still healing, so things have been a little bit difficult, but we are moving forward, and hopefully next year we'll be able to get in here and things will be more on a normal pace and the garden will be back to what it's supposed to be. I wanted to show you that we still have a little tiny bit of color here on some of the phlox, which is nice to see. Here, approaching the long border, we have our zebra grass that is doing really well. Jeff is actually coming a little bit later today to help put down some more of the mulch, and I'm going to ask him to help tie this back so in the winter the snow doesn't come and break it, because I'd like to have it around in the winter time because I love the structure that it provides in the garden space. Walking through to the long border, we still need to put the mulch down in this area, but things have been going very well with the space overall throughout the season. We have our brandywine viburnum that's starting to put on its autumn coloring. And we have here the yellow twig dogwoods, and I'm looking forward to when the leaves fade away. They are going to be very, very beautiful, shining in the winter sun. This is going to look a lot better once we put all of the mulch down in this area. This is, I think, the trifolium. This one has grown leaps and bounds. It's very huge, and I'm loving how the color is in the garden space. The other one down the other end has had a little bit of a problem in the middle, so I think I need to cut that out and then kind of maybe divide that. I think maybe it got too big too fast, but I might need to divide that. And down here, we're having some of the greenery for the bulbs coming up already. I don't know if you can see the tall on the side right here. So those are some of the bulbs that we planted. They came up in the spring, and I guess they're putting on their winter flush. And over here, this is the diamond spire gardenia that I thought was going to die, and it is doing really, really well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this does in the coming seasons. Hopefully its positioning in the shadow of the house will help it to be protected throughout the winter. I don't know if you can see back in this area over here is, you can see the twigs. They are actually from one of the crepe myrtles that my friend Dillis gave me, and this one got to be the biggest. It is a beautiful pale, like lavender color crepe myrtle, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it does in the coming years. We still have some color on some of our scabiosa here. This is the vivid violet scabiosa. So this one is still putting on a couple of blooms, which is lovely. And in our planters here, we had salvia and we had some violas here. So there's a little bit of color on the viola still left. And then the salvia is throwing up some color here at the very end. This is supposed to be the Alfred Sisley rose. I'm still skeptical about what it really is because it doesn't have the variegation that it's supposed to have, though it's beautiful nonetheless. And we have a bloom here on there, and there's a few more buds you can see that will be providing some blooms, hopefully if we don't have any upcoming frost. We still have color on our Russian sage, which is very nice. Enjoying that. I love how it shines in the sunshine, and it's been a very delightful color and fragrance in the garden this year. Here in the front border, we have had a lot of growth. So you can see that the purple sage is ginormous. It's gone all the way back to the path. So I'm going to be cutting this back a bit, but it's really, really pretty to have in the garden. And then we have the barbecue rosemary, which as I said before, I don't really like rosemary, but I did plant this for its evergreen coloring and the blue flowers that it produces, and the bees have been going crazy over it. We also still have some lemon thyme that is very fragrant and has been really, really lovely in the garden. And the yellow, orangey color things here, these are Sunjoy Gold Pillar Barberry, which are now putting on their autumnal coloring. My mom absolutely loves these. They're really, really nice, although they're super, super picky. So you have to be careful when you're going near them. And we have our Greenspire euonymus, and this has put on a lot of growth this year. This is going to eventually be about 8 feet tall in the center of this bed here, which is going to be nice. And I love this chrysanthemum. I don't know what the variety is. I bought two many years ago. One died, and so in a video that we did last year, we divided this one into 4 pieces, and these are the 4 pieces that have grown to be monstrous. And I am probably going to be dividing them again next year and planting them around the garden. They're really, really pretty, and they smell absolutely amazing. And I love how they change in color. So they start out in this light color here, and then they eventually, as they age, they turn into this pinkish color here, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So Jeff put some mulch in this flower bed, so this one is ready to go for the season. He also added all the mulch in this flower bed. This is the one that we added this year, and we planted some annuals. So this is bandana cherry, lantana, and then we have over here in the back here with the blue flowers is cobalt blue superbena, and they have done really, really well this year. And this plant here is the same as this plant here, which is a penstemon, which I'm absolutely loving. I did not expect it to provide so much color for so long, but it's called Flock of Flamingos, and it is doing really well. And if you can see, the bumblebees are absolutely loving what they're doing. Oh, this one does have color back here. This one, there is some color on the Flock of Flamingo right there. Coming around to the front here, Jeff added some mulch in this area here. So hopefully next year I can get some, I want to plant more of the little lime hydrangeas up along the fence here to add some color here. I want to do a hydrangea on this side as well. Probably like a snowball variety in this area to add some texture and color throughout the season. Okay, I'm going to try to film this front border. I have to be careful because I don't want Jasmine to wander off the curb, so I have to kind of pay attention to her. But here we have more of the Greenspire euonymus, and we have this grass, which I can't remember the name of the grass. I'll put it on the screen, but I'm loving how the light catches it and just how lovely it's been and providing such texture and movement in this garden bed. And here we have some garden sage, which is going to provide some year-round color and sensory experience. They got really, really big, and I'm really, really happy about them. I have 3 of them in the bed. We'll walk down and see the others. Here we have Woolerton Old Hall Rose, and it is doing exactly what I want it to do. This one is doing the best. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. It is coming up and crossing over the top of the fence, and I just wanted to fill this whole fence with beautiful color throughout the season. And I really love the orange. The rose hips have a really, I don't know if I can catch it on camera, but they're a really pretty orange color. Very nice, very enjoying it a lot. So coming down here, this is a Rudbeckia, and I can't remember the name of it. Apparently it's not really supposed to be growing in this zone because I got 3 of them and 2 of them didn't make it, if you remember. But I'm hoping that this does okay because it started to put on a lot of growth and a lot of color this season, and I'm really enjoying how they start out yellow and then they get this red coloring in them. It's really nice to have. So here's some more of the same grouping of plants with the greenspire euonymus and the grasses and the garden sage. This rose here is called Fruity Petals, and you can see that there's one bloom here that we still have on here. And there's another one actually, there's a couple more blooms are coming out. I see buds for that. But this it's been very nice to have, and this one I would also like to fill this whole fence area with a bunch of color. We have some more of the Russian sage here, and this is a shot of the front of the garden bed from the other side of the fence. And coming down this side, we have more of the same. Oh, also I forgot, over here we have an azalea right there growing, and some weeds. Ignore the weeds, have to come in and take care of them. We have an azalea growing. It's a white azalea, and they have been doing very well, putting on a lot of growth, and looking forward to what they're going to do next year. But coming down this side, so we also have here a geum. So we had 3, I think we lost 2, but this one is surviving, so hopefully I can get some more of that. It's going to have kind of like a fuchsia color when it comes out in the spring. And towards the end of the flower bed, we have more of the grass and more of the euonymus, greenspire. The ones on the end are a little bit shorter than the ones in the middle, which I'm okay with because I really want the ones in the middle to frame the gateway entering the house. So at this moment, they're the taller ones, other than the one that's in the flower bed, and I'm happy about how this is turning out. So in this area here, in the maple border, we have our geums that are doing great. So on the side of this geum, I don't know if I pointed this out in an earlier video. Let's see if I'm pointing. An earlier video, down in behind this geum here, it was a yellow jacket nest. So I actually sprayed the nest to get rid of them. And then an animal came and dug a hole in there, but I used the squirrel mace and now they're gone. So I think it's a safe area here. The street lights weren't working for a while, so I think the animal thought it was a nice dark area to be in, but I actually put in a ticket to get the street lights turned back on. So there hasn't been any animal activity here. But in this flower bed, we have Haconocloa right here, and we have, along with the geum, we have hellebores growing. I need to cut back the peony here. There's a few of them in here. We need to cut them back. We still have a little bit of color on our Veronica white wands, which is nice to have. And we have to come in here later and cut back the greenery of the daylilies that are in this area. I'm leaving the seed heads on the echinacea so that the birds have something to nibble on in the winter. But otherwise, this bed did really, really well this year. Jeff came and put some mulch in this area as well. We have some greenery there from the grape hyacinths, which will last throughout the winter, and it's kind of nice to have some evergreen interest in the flower bed. So he also put some mulch around the tree ring here, and we have our heuchera doing really well. So we have the paprika and we have the Delta Dawn. The Delta Dawn is the green one and the paprika is the red one. Coming back to the orchard bed, we have the turning leaves of the red twig dogwood, which are looking really, really pretty, and I can't wait. They have grown so much this year. I can't wait to see what they're going to be like in the winter, especially if we get some snow. They're going to be gorgeous. And we had a lot of growth on the sky pencil holly These two were moved, so they're a little bit shorter, but the rest of them that are in the position they were when they were planted are doing really well. All of them are pretty much up to the fence, so they're all pretty much 4 feet tall at least, and it's really nice to see them filling in here. We had a lot of anemone this year. This is the Prince Henry anemone. Let me see if I can grab this here. You can see what the color that it was, and all of these were full. I think that's the last bloom that we have, but it was a really nice show. Oh no, there's one down here, down in here. There's one down in there. So it was a really nice show this season. And the yarrow, I cut back the yarrow. That was really pretty this year. It did really well. Our grapes, we got a couple of bunches of grapes, small ones, but they probably won't come into their own until the next couple of years. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so the shadows are high. So here, again, you can see the red foliage here and here. This is also the Sunjoy gold pillar turning its autumnal hue. So I wanted to show you Lazarus. Lazarus is becoming a very lovely, lovely plant. He's put on a ton of growth this year, and it's just been really nice to see how well it's doing. So hopefully next year and in the coming years we'll get some actual figs from him, and it'll be very nice. Thanks, Dodie. Coming around here in the orchard area, the plum tree, I got 1 plum, or 2 plums off of this one. It's put on a lot of growth, so hopefully in the next coming years we'll get a lot of plums. These raspberries, I think I'm gonna have to take them out. I don't like them, and they're not really what I wanted, so I think I'm gonna get rid of these and try to definitely get the autumn of the fall gold raspberries. Here's the peach tree that we didn't get any peaches. There were a lot on there. We didn't get any peaches. However, the peach leaf curl was at a minimum this year. So we're going to continue on with the spraying technique, and hopefully next year we could get some peaches. It takes, I think, about 5 years or so, so it's still a fairly young tree, but hopefully we'll be able to get some peaches here. We had a lovely display of the crepe myrtles here and in the front this year. It was lovely to see. And here is the other plum tree. This is the Bradford plum tree that we planted this year, and it's doing very, very well. So I'm going to come into the woodland garden area. Not a whole lot has happened back here. It needs a lot of work and a lot of help. We do have some ferns that are still ferning, and some of them, they do last throughout the winter, like the autumn, the brilliance autumn and the Christmas fern. The Christmas fern's back here, and the brilliance autumn is right here. They do last throughout the winter. We still have some of the, the hellebore flowers are doing well, and there's a lot of, I need to do some trimming back of the ivy in here so that our other plants can see the light of day, because we have some heucheras and heucherellas in here that you really can't see because it's kind of overgrown back here. I think the squirrels have been living in their squirrel house. There's been a lot of activity around the tree, and they have not been in the shed, so that is the plus. So in this area, these are the deck steps beds, and I'm trying not to get my shadow in here. This one, you see there's a big empty space here. I am going to insert some footage of what was there. Many of you know we had a tomato vine that just, a rogue one, just kind of volunteered itself in here, and I thought it would be kind of neat to see what it did, and it literally took over the entire flower bed all the way across the step. I couldn't even use the back gate of the deck because it was all across the steps, and you could see the bare spots in the poor 9-bark where the tomato bush was doing its thing. So I'm going to have Jeff put some mulch in here to cover up the bare soil, and I know I'm going to have to pull out tomato plants till the end of my time, because all the seeds from this bush have, for the tomatoes that had fallen, are in here. So we're going to have a constant battle, but that's okay. It was an experiment to see what it would do, and oh my goodness, it was one tomato plant and it's gigantic. As you can see from the footage, it is absolutely enormous. I've never seen anything like it. Here we have popcorn drift rose. We have several around the property. This one is actually still blooming, which is nice to see. And I'm going to see down in here, the chick charm. I thought it was going to die, but the chick charm, you can see it here, is doing great, and it has babies around it. So I'm really excited to see what happens with that. And over here, we had on the pots that are at the bottom of the deck steps, we had an annual salvia. And apparently some of its seeds fell into this flower bed and it decided to come back. So this was a bonus treat here. It was kind of nice pop of color as a surprise. So coming over to the other side of the mirroring bed, so this is what it's supposed to look like had it not had a giant tomato plant in it. So we have the 9-bar here, we have some popcorn drift roses, we also have some nepeta. This is Cat's Pajamas nepeta. We have a grass blooming here, and we had some more of the lantana bandana cherry, and also here we also had peachy keen verbena. So the peachy keen verbena and the lantana were supposed to be on the other side as well, but they got choked out by the massive tomato plant that was in here. So anyway, so that is what has happened here. So this is what it's supposed to look like, and then we have what it looked like due to the tomato plant. So that is the end of our garden tour for November 2025. I hope you enjoyed seeing what's happening in the garden and the remaining color that we still have. It's been a delight to walk you around the garden and show things off to you. I hope you guys are doing well, and I look forward to providing more content. Hopefully in the upcoming year, we'll be able to do some more things on a more regular basis. This has been kind of a crazy year, so kind of doing a little catch up and taking it easy this year. But there's going to be some fall cleanup that needs to get done, so hopefully we can get that on camera as well. I look forward to seeing you guys soon, and if I don't see you before Thanksgiving, you guys have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving for those in the US, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.